Before I say anything, watch this short clip of Kola Aina telling a story.
A couple of years ago, someone introduced a young man to me who he was 19 years old, and they told me they felt he was a genius, he was super smart. So I started mentoring him. Anyway, long story short, I invested in this guy's company, and I was still running emerging platforms, my enterprise software business, and we had a very large university that we provided all the tech for. And so, I'd taken him there, joined me for a meeting. Anyway, long story short, this kid goes and tries to circumvent us and take over our contract with this university. This is this kid I'd been mentoring from when he was 19. He was now like 23 or 20 something. So anyway, we obviously we parted ways, and about 4 years later, he's pitching a private equity fund, and the chair of the investment committee happened to have been my board chair, many years before, and I had reported this issue at the board. So again, there's a reputational issue here. There's transparency to governance, and he remembered, and he calls me. He says, "Is this caller?" He calls the name. Is this not the young man that
you said did?
I said, yes. Where did you see him? Because me, I had written it up. I'd forgotten the guy.
You'd moved on.
He says it's right in front of me here, pitching for.
Ouch.
That was it.
That's it.
That story is a powerful reminder of something we don't talk about enough. Your character is building a reputation for you, even when you're not in the room. Now, the young man in question was obviously talented. He was smart enough to attract a mentor. He got opportunities. He met important people. Eventually, he would sit before the private equity committee. However, 4 years after he betrayed someone's trust, the consequences of that met him in that room. He did not lose that opportunity because he wasn't competent. He lost that opportunity because of who he had proven himself to be. That is the uncomfortable truth about authority. See, talent may get you into rooms, but character determines whether you're welcomed in those rooms. We live in a culture that values what a man can do. Your business, your network, your influence, your talent, all these things matters. But there is a dangerous gap between a man's capability and who he is. And eventually, that gap gets exposed. Scripture gives a powerful example with Daniel. Daniel rose because he was excellent. But when his enemies wanted to destroy him, they couldn't find anything against him. They investigated him for corruption, any malpractice, any little inconsistency. Guess what? They found nothing. Think about that. These men had access, they had motive, they had the resources. But with everything, they couldn't find anything to pin against Daniel. That kind of character isn't built before the king. It is built in private. It is built in the decisions you take that nobody applauds. It is built when you could compromise and no one will find out. It is built when you could take advantage of someone and get away with it. It is built when keeping your word would cost you something. Because eventually, the man you are in private will meet the opportunities you're praying for in public. This is why character formation matters so much. We are often in a hurry to become visible. We want the platforms. We want the influence. We want the money. We want the rooms. But God is more interested in who you're becoming before He gives you what you're asking for. Because capability in the hands of a compromised man doesn't become an asset, it becomes liability. Your character is not merely a private matter, it is your public infrastructure. Your business will rest on it. Your leadership will rest on it. Your relationships will rest on it. Your influence will rest on it. So before you ask God for a bigger room, ask yourself whether the man entering that room can be trusted with what is waiting for him in there. Because the reputation that follows you into that room was built long before you arrived. Build your character before you build your platform. Talent may open doors, but it is character that ensures those doors stay open. My name is IQ Jibe, and this is my unsolicited advice.